Hey guys, today we have Aditi and she's having total 4.9 year of experience in Java, Spring Boot and microservices domain. And those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Aditi, how are you?
Everyone, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Yes, I'm also good. Shall we start?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay. So can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
Yeah, sure. So
Mm-hmm.
my full name is Aditi Dubey, and
Mm-hmm.
I have been working with a corporate company that is a
Mm-hmm.
service-based company. And since
Okay.
4.9 years, I'm working with this organization. So coming to my skills, so I am
Mm-hmm.
a Java developer. So my
Okay.
roles and responsibility is whatever the requirements coming from the client side.
Mm-hmm.
So adding those new functionality, supporting the
Mm-hmm.
application or debugging the application.
Okay.
My set is on Java, microservices,
Mm-hmm.
REST API,
Mm-hmm.
and I have some knowledge of Kafka as well.
Okay.
Little bit aware about Datadog platform and
Mm-hmm.
Kubernetes,
Mm-hmm.
AWS services. So that
Okay.
services are S3 buckets, cloud
Mm-hmm.
permission template, cloud watch logs,
Mm-hmm.
and EC2 instance,
Okay.
including EKS, Kubernetes
Okay.
service.
Okay. So what's the
Yeah.
duration of the sprint?
Depends on the task, like how much time it would take
Okay,
based
it's
on
not
that.
fixed. Like for me,
Yeah.
it is of uh, 14 days, I think 14 days or 21 days of a sprint in my project. So
Yeah.
there is no criteria in your project, right?
That is depend on totally
That
depend on like
is okay,
how
okay.
much time it would take.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So a means sprint in your project could be extended if
Yeah,
there
it
is
could be
a
extended.
requirement.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Okay. So can you tell me a few collection frameworks that you guys are using in your project?
So collection framework is a very big framework, and
Mm-hmm.
some basic things like list, array list,
Mm-hmm.
map, hash map, hash
Mm-hmm.
set,
Mm-hmm.
so set interface. So these like part of collection framework we are using inside our
Okay.
application.
Okay. So talking about list, set, and map, can we store null values in each of them?
That is like so if coming to map, we
Mm-hmm.
cannot have any null key. So
Okay.
that is based on like what kind of interface we are using. So if we are
Mm-hmm.
using map, then could not be a null key present.
Mm-hmm.
In
Okay.
SAT, in SAT we can add the null data.
Mm-hmm.
In list, I think yeah, in list also it allows to add the null value.
Okay. So now talking about only list and set, can we store multiple null values in both of them?
No, not
No,
multiple null values allowed.
in
Yeah.
both.
Uh, I think yeah,
Okay. So in list, we can have multiple null values, but in set, uh, it must be only one null
yeah.
value.
Okay. So I think
Okay.
SAT because it doesn't allow any duplicate value
Yes,
to
yes,
insert.
yes, yes.
That's the
That's
cause.
correct. Yep. Can you tell me how does array list different from linked list in terms of performance?
So ArrayList is a dynamic memory
Mm-hmm.
allocation data structures, and
Mm-hmm.
definitely it is like a subclass of list interface. So it
Okay.
follows the pattern of edges like an array, but it is
Mm-hmm.
like dynamic expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And if coming to linked list, then extraction from the linked list is much easier than array list because in array list it
Mm-hmm.
would traverse using the one by one index value.
Mm-hmm.
But in linked list, it will definitely use the iterator interface,
Mm-hmm.
and using that we can have the like random value we can
Okay.
access.
Okay. Okay. So, if you need to maintain insertion order, which set implementation would you choose?
Set is an ordered interface, and if that is like purpose, depend on the purpose. So hash set I can use for that.
Hash set. If someone, I mean, in hash set, if you are storing values, it is not, I mean, it's not a guarantee. If, I mean, all the elements would be in an insertion order. There is no guarantee. Okay. But
Okay.
if you are using linked hash set, so there is a guarantee. If you are storing values in the linked hash set, so insertion order will be there. Aditi, I would like to share one important thing with you. Actually, we had launched complete interview preparation material, structured step by step by myself, expert and MNC's interviewers. And the best part is that now no one need to go anywhere else to prepare interviews. There is a 99% chance that interviewers will ask questions from this material. So basically, it contains a lot of material categorized by experience level. Means each experience level has different material with all possible interview question answers. So it's Java, Spring Framework, Maven, Git, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data, JPA, Kafka, microservices, Java coding questions, Stream API coding questions, and many more. I have provided the link to get this in the below description. And if someone needs this material plus two real enterprise client projects for reference plus one-on-one lifetime doubt sessions and reference to the big MNCs, then they should check the interview preparation kit. I will provide the link for this as well in the description below. So now moving to our interview. So now explain the difference between hash map, linked hash map, and tree map. Aditi.
Hash map, linked hash map, and free map,
And
right?
tree map.
So hash map is a child class of a map interface, and it
Mm-hmm.
stores the value in the form of
Mm-hmm.
key value pair.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So it do have like some basic
Mm-hmm.
implementation internally. It uses
Mm-hmm.
like array of bucket, and inside that it uses linked list
Mm-hmm.
because based on hashing technique, it is store the value inside the bucket. Now, linked hash map is just like linked list, but here we are using hash map. So it will be like that only, linked hash map.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And tree hash map, I have less idea about.
Yeah, yeah. Tree map is also again, it's like a tree set, like we are I mean, here we will be having sorted orders of keys, right? Okay. Okay. So tell me, why is it important to override both equals and hash code in a class if we are using any collection framework?
Okay. So actually, these both
Mm-hmm.
are having default implementation in object class. But if like two keys are same, so they could have the same hash code. That can be
Mm-hmm.
a case where their value could not be same.
Mm-hmm.
So that's because there is a contraction between like hash method and hash code
Mm-hmm.
method and equals method.
Yes,
But
yes.
if their key is same, that
Mm-hmm.
means value would definitely be equals. So because
Mm-hmm.
of this case,
Okay, okay.
implementation of both is needed.
Correct, correct, correct. Okay. So suppose you store an object in a hash set and later modify a field that's used in the hash code. What would happen?
I'm sorry, could you please like repeat the question?
Suppose you store an object in a hash set, right? Then later you modify a field that's used in the hash code. I mean, you have modified the hash code method. So what would happen?
Okay. So I
Mm.
have modified that and the field is already stored before that. Am I right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Uh, it will like try to find the value, but the bucket code will not be the same. So it would never get the same value returned.
Mm.
So
Yes, yes, yes.
exception,
Mm.
exception could be there.
Uh, yes, hash set cannot locate it properly.
Yeah.
This breaks actually contract and may cause unexpected behavior. It's like a
Right.
loss of elements, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's correct. So how can we avoid such issues?
Actually, if we are like creating any custom class, so
Mm-hmm.
we can like override the
Mm-hmm.
hash method there, and based
Okay.
on that, we can calculate the hashing method.
Mm. Okay. Yes, and also we could use immutable objects as key, right? So that's they cannot be
Yeah, they cannot be
modified.
modified.
Mm. Correct. Can you tell me the difference between fail fast and fail safe iterators?
Fast and fail safe. All
Mm-hmm.
I'm like not aware about it, but
Well,
I have
not aware.
heard about this stuff.
Okay. Okay, okay. So, I mean, iterators for iterating the loops or any, I mean, collection framework, right? The difference is they both are iterators. Fail fast through concurrent modification exception if collection is modified while iterating. Let's say we are iterating something, and if that collection is modified, it will throw a concurrent modification exception. Whereas failsafe, it works on a copy of collection, no exception thrown, but may not reflect the latest changes in that collection. Okay. Okay. Uh, Moving ahead. Do you know about concurrent hash map?
Yeah, so these
Mm-hmm.
like concurrent hash map class is introduced to create the right say
Mm-hmm.
like hash map.
Okay.
So that's because this is introduced.
Mm. Yes, yes, yes. That's correct. Mm. Difference between I mean, have you heard about synchronized hash map?
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell me the difference between concurrent hash map and synchronized hash map?
Not sure like what is
Mm-hmm.
exactly the difference.
Okay,
But
okay.
I heard about these classes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so in synchronized map, entire map is locked for each operation. Lower performance in multi-threaded scenarios, basically. Whereas in concurrent hash map, it uses internal segmentations and allow concurrent reads and updates without blocking the whole map. That's a main difference, actually. Okay. And to avoid ambiguity during concurrent operations, uh, null values are not allowed in concurrent hash map. That's also a tricky part. Okay. Okay. So just moving ahead, can you tell me the difference between comparable and comparator?
Yeah, so comparable
Mm-hmm.
and comparator are like in functional interface,
Mm-hmm.
and so comparable and comparator, like if I can say comparator, so
Mm-hmm.
comparator is an interface which is having
Mm-hmm.
compare compare method, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
not wrong. So
Mm-hmm.
it is having compare method, and we can
Mm-hmm.
pass the object of this in collection dot sort method. But if
Okay.
we are using comparable, so we can only pass the object of our wrapper class
Mm-hmm.
to compare to method.
Okay. Okay.
So that's because yeah, we prefer to use comparator for
Mm.
custom classes.
Okay. And what is functional interface?
So functional interfaces are those interfaces which is like which are having only one method defined inside that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can take an example of a runnable
Mm-hmm.
interface or comparable comparator,
Mm-hmm.
these are two interfaces as an example. Functional
Mm.
interface.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's correct. Mm. So, do you know the average time complexities of hash map get and put operation?
I can put operation.
Mm-hmm.
So complexity, I can like say
Mm-hmm.
not exactly like
Mm-hmm.
which complexity I can say. I don't know.
A constant time.
If it is constant time, that is it's big O of n.
Mm, yes, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's big of I mean O1 for both the operations get and put.
That is constant big O of n.
Mm,
That is
yes, yes.
constant interface.
Mm, okay. Okay, so let's say you need a thread safe map where reads are far more frequent than writes. Which implementation would you choose? I mean, which collection framework would you use?
Can you please repeat the question?
You need a thread safe map where reads are far more frequent than writes. I mean, reads are more frequent than writes. Which implementation would you choose and why?
I would prefer to use a concurrent hashing because it
Mm-hmm.
is thread safe and two operations simultaneously cannot be done
Mm-hmm.
because of concurrent modification
Mm-hmm.
exception. So concurrent hash map I would prefer to use.
Mm, yes, yes, that's correct. Okay, so can two unequal objects have the same hash code?
So unequal objects can have the
Mm,
same hash code. Yeah, yes, it
okay,
can be.
so what we call this situation?
So that is a hash collision, if I'm not
Yes,
wrong,
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, this is called hash collision. Hash codes don't guarantee uniqueness.
right?
Yes. So can two equal objects have different hash code?
Yes. Two equal object. No, no.
Mm.
That can be like having the same hash load.
Mm. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, okay, so imagine you are building a real-time leaderboard system. So which collections would you use?
Leaderboard. Like it can be more specific. Leaderboard in that
Leaderboard system, ranking
which.
system.
Okay.
Mm.
So if I need it, then I can use.
Let's say you need
Uh,
to store the score values of different person. Let's say there are
mhm,
4 person. Parallel, you are also adding their 4 persons scores regularly, and also the new
mhm.
people's scores, and your that dashboard is showing the rank. Like now, who is in the top now, who is in the top now, who is in top 10, something like that.
So here, if that is the case, and
Mm-hmm.
we are having a custom class, and custom class is like having uh, attributes, and
Mm-hmm.
that attribute with object I can store inside the map interface. So map is preferably you.
Okay. Yes, a hash map for O1 lookup, right? And tree
Right.
map or also priority queue. That these could also be very helpful. Okay, because hash map provides fast lookup, whereas tree map or priority queue it maintains the ordering to get top and efficiently. Okay. Okay, so tell me, what's the basic idea of inheritance?
So inheritance are of like multiple types.
Mm-hmm.
Inheritance means inheriting the property of a parent into the
Mm-hmm.
child class.
Mm-hmm.
So, like we are having class or interface.
Mm-hmm.
So classes are like we can have the like defined definitions of a method, but in
Mm-hmm.
interface we are having only property.
Mm-hmm.
So we can extend the class into class, but we can
Mm-hmm.
implement the interface into the class.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's the difference between compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism?
So compile time polymorphism checks that what type of object variable is.
Mm-hmm.
But runtime polymorphism will check what kind of value is assigned inside that
Mm-hmm.
variable.
Okay.
So that is the difference.
Which one is achieved by method overloading and which one by overriding?
So method overloading is a compile time polymorphism,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but overriding is runtime polymorphism.
Okay. Okay. How encapsulation improve code maintainability?
So encapsulation is like we provide whatever the requirement or abstracted data is that instead of giving a whole access of a class. So it to ensure the security and also is like we can create an object of a class and we can like get the attributes using that.
Okay. Can you achieve abstraction without using abstract classes or interfaces?
So if I do have an abstract class, then I can have
Mm-hmm.
any abstract method inside that. And if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not marking it abstract, then
Mm-hmm.
it will definitely inside subclass. There will
Mm-hmm.
be no guarantee to know about that any like property or any method is there that needs
Mm-hmm.
to be defined.
Okay, okay.
So abstract needs to be known.
Mm. Can you override a private or static method?
So private method scope is inside the class only,
Okay. Then what about static method?
and static method also could not get mm, uh,
Okay.
override, yeah, because of its association with the class level.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So let's say you have two overloaded methods. First is
Mhm.
print and we are passing integer int only. We are passing int in that method. And second is also print, but here argument is integer wrapper class integer. In one we are passing int, in another we are passing integer. Okay, there are two overloaded methods. What happens if you call print null? I mean, inside the arguments we are passing null. So which method will hit?
We are passing null, then null is a string value, and integer would not, or the integer method will not like able to take it, right? I mean, we can pass zero
So
instead of null.
integer, this wrapper class, you mean cannot hold null values?
It is an object. I mean, it is a wrapper class, and it can store the object. So null, uh,
Objects can store null values.
but that should be inside the string, not inside the
No, 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 no.
integer. Okay. Definitely, it will
Integer
not. Okay.
integer can also hold null values. Integer. Let's say integer a is equal to null. And if you print a, so null will be printed. So wrapper classes can hold the null values. Either they are float, strings. String is one of the wrapper class. Okay, so if something is, I mean, if something is starting from capital like S string, S is capital, I is capital integer, float, double. So these are wrapper classes, and wrapper classes behaves like a class. It and class can store null values. Okay, and these small int, these small c char, so these are not wrapper classes, these are primitive data types. They cannot hold the null values. So if there are two overloaded methods, and only the arguments are different, one is using int, another is integer, and we are calling these, I mean this method, and passing that value. So definitely that overloaded in wrapper class methods overloaded will be called. Okay. Yes. Okay. So moving ahead, can you tell me the role of a super keyword?
Yeah, I can.
Mm-hmm.
So like we are having super is to call the parent,
Mm-hmm.
but I can like see one case here where if uh, I've seen a dot super dot method, a dot
Mm-hmm.
super dot method, we can
Mm-hmm.
like differentiate like which kind of method, which parent method you need to call. So at that place, we use this a dot super dot method, and I'm
Okay.
considering a as a yeah parent.
Okay. So uh, it's fine. Mm, moving ahead, what's the role of the object class in Java?
This is a default class, and it is like
Mm-hmm.
extended by default for every classes, as it is having equals hash code
Mm-hmm.
method, and also it is
Mm-hmm.
having two string method.
Okay. Okay.
So default implementation is taken from here.
Okay. So have you worked with the Spring Data JPA?
Yeah, I
Yes. Yes.
worked with the
What's the purpose of entity annotation?
So entity is marked for the model class, and
Mm-hmm.
that is like with the name of entity class name, it would create a table inside the database.
Okay. Can an entity class be declared as a final?
Yeah, I think we can do
Okay.
make it immutable.
Mm, okay. So I think no answer. I mean, answer is no because entities need proxies, which requires subclassing. This is being happened internally. Okay. Yes. So tell me the role of table ID and generated value annotation.
ID is for like having the
Mm-hmm.
index value, so that can be increased.
Okay.
And also it would be marked with like primary key
Mm-hmm.
and generate value is like generating one by one, one, two, three, like that, serial
Mm-hmm.
format.
It starts from one.
Uh, yeah, it should start with one
Okay.
because zero concept is nowhere in database.
Mm. Mm. Correct, correct. Uh, okay. So tell me the difference between JPA repository and CRUD repository.
Crude is a parent of a JPA repository, but we use this JPA repository inside the
Mm.
interface
Okay,
uh,
okay.
menu.
When would you use pagination and sorting repository instead of these two?
I have never worked with pagination.
Hmm?
I have never worked with pagination
Okay, okay, okay.
repository. Yeah.
So you haven't worked with the pagination or it was done in the UI.
Yeah, I haven't worked with that.
Okay, cool. Uh, what's the purpose or what's the role of query annotation?
Query is to write the custom query, which we need to fire over the
Hmm.
table so that we can write inside the query animation.
Hmm. Okay. If you call find by ID method, the default Spring Data JPA method, and the entity does not exist, what does JPA return?
So its response would be 404, not 4.
404. No, no, no.
That is for
Four.
the
These are the
tracking.
custom. I mean, these status codes. We return the status codes to the UI.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So what it could be, I mean, exactly, I don't know, like what it could
Uh,
return.
okay, so yes, it will basically since there is nothing with that ID, so nothing will return. That's an basic idea, right? So yes, it will return empty, optional dot empty, but it will return an optional dot empty. Okay. Okay, so moving ahead, do you know about JPQL?
I haven't heard
No, no,
about,
no.
I mean, I have,
Okay, okay. So tell me the difference between SQL and NoSQL, SQL and NoSQL.
okay, so SQL uses the relational databases for
Mm,
row and column format, table
okay.
format. But NoSQL can be like MongoDB is an example of
Mm-hmm.
NoSQL, where we can use directly UI.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm, okay. Uh, and what's the native queries?
So native queries just like we fire over the relational databases,
Mm-hmm.
like mm, uh, insert, update, delete, create
Mm-hmm.
these queries.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what's the difference between one to many and many to one relationships?
So one to many and many to one are like
Mm-hmm.
for the same scenario case, like we are having one
Mm-hmm.
student, but it can read multiple subjects.
Mm-hmm.
So at that moment, we can use one to many. But
Okay.
in subject, we can mark many to one because
Mm.
many subject can be read by one student.
Can you give me an example of many to many annotation?
Yeah.
Mm.
So one teacher can work for multiple departments,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay. And in one department, there
that
might have
is yeah,
multiple
that is
teachers.
yeah.
Yes.
So,
Okay. So moving ahead, uh, why do we usually avoid many-to-many direct mappings in large enterprise system?
uh, because of its
It's not a
messy,
good practice actually.
yeah, it's not a good practice
Mm.
because like there are multiple large amount
Mm.
of data.
Okay. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Do you know the difference between lazy and eager fetching in JP?
Yeah, I mean, for now, I'm not able to like explain the concept, but I am aware about this
Mm-hmm.
concept. Yeah. lazy and eager.
Yeah, yeah, please go ahead.
As said, like
Oh,
I cannot
you
explain
said
like
you, okay, okay. I thought you are saying you have a basic idea only. Okay,
yeah,
okay. So it's fine, fine. Yes, let me tell you, these are, I mean, type of fetching things in lazy. It loads association only when X is in eager, it loads associations immediately with the parent. Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so have you heard about cascade type? Cascade type.
yes.
So tell me the basic idea of this.
I think that is used with @generate ID cascade.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
for what it is used. So
Mm.
yeah, I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
So
know about
basically
it.
define how operations applied to a parent entity propagate to related entities. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep. Okay. So yes, moving ahead. Do you know about n plus one query problem in JP?
and plus one query
Mm-hmm.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm,
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So just
I
moving
think
ahead.
yeah.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
I was just linking it with some data structure, but I don't think so. That would be
No,
pretty
no.
clear.
Yeah,
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 that is
it's
something different.
yep. Okay. So what is transaction annotation?
So transaction annotation is to handle the local transaction inside the microservice
Mm-hmm.
uh, for rollbacking.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is like a basic use of federal
So have you
transaction
used
handling.
transaction annotation anywhere?
I
Anytime?
have seen, yeah, implemented in
You have
federate.
seen, but you haven't implemented, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, so moving ahead. Mm, what, please tell me the basic idea of microservice architecture, why it came into the picture, even there was a smooth web development.
So there are multiple benefits. So before
Mm,
we were using monolithic applications
mm,
and we were not having as much as component we are having in
mm,
microservices.
mm,
So microservices are the like simple application and
mm,
it is having individuality to run.
okay.
Uh, and they can communicate with each other as well.
Mm,
And also, like this is very efficient uh,
mm,
because of deployment, or I can
mm,
say because of changing in them. So that
mm,
is much easier because in monolithic application there are like multiple classes linked with each
mm,
other. But
mm,
if we are creating little microservices, so
mm,
their maintenance, their deployment is more easier.
mm,
And
mm.
also microservices do have multiple components used with
Okay,
it, like AOP we
okay,
use.
okay,
We are having multiple design patterns.
okay.
Also, there are service registry. So these
Mm.
are few components used with microservices.
Okay, and also tell me the challenges in breaking a monolithic application into the microservices.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there can be like multiple challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So if starting with yeah, so starting with like if any failure occurs in
Mm-hmm.
one microservices,
Mm-hmm.
but it scope it's like inside that only application, I can say. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if two applications are there and if one microservice is failed, then it has to like call the another one because of their data transfer.
Mm-hmm.
But that would not be possible.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, we have to use another design pattern, Saga design pattern. But in monolithic, that is like more easier because in that same application, rollbacking is easy.
Mm-hmm.
But in microservices,
Right.
we have to implement it.
Okay, okay, yes, yes. And uh, also, uh, data partitioning is also a challenging
Yeah.
uh, task while converting a monolithic into the microservice architecture, right?
Yeah.
Defining service boundaries, because since we are converting a monolithic into microservice, we need to split into the few services, and we also need to define those services boundaries. Are you getting my point? Okay,
Yeah.
so that is also one of the challenging tasks. Also, distributed transactions, inter-service communication, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So these are some challenges and latency concern. If one microservice is calling another microservice, there could be a latency issue, right? Okay.
Right.
Okay, so let's say you are building an e-commerce application. So tell me tell me few microservices name that you would use.
So,
Hmm.
so mm, what if my custom, like I have to tell the name, right?
Yes,
That
yes, you
should
have
not
to
be
tell
obvious.
any name that you want to add.
Okay. So shopping mart, I can use,
Shopping
like,
mart.
yeah, I
Uh,
can
so
use that.
so what what this microservice will do?
So it would have multiple, components, it would have multiple classes actually inside it. Mm.
Hmm.
So there we can having multiple kind of uh,
Okay, okay.
what I can say, multiple products. So we can have one class as product,
And
payment, order delivered. So all these things I have to
okay,
make inside that
and tell me other
microservice.
microservices.
Um,
So you got the question
Other,
right completely.
yes. So I have to tell the e-commerce application and inside that what we can implement.
No, no, no. The question is, let's say you are tasked to build a microservice application. That's an e-commerce app. Since we know in microservice application, we need to divide the whole application into the several parts, and we call them microservices.
Right. Right.
Okay. So I just want to know, tell me few those parts, like few microservices name, like few microservices, what would you create? Those are,
Okay.
important microservices
Mhm.
in while building a e-commerce app. Let's say there is a payment service microservice for
Service.
payment.
Yeah.
There would be
Yeah.
for catalog. So
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Products service
Hmm.
we can include. We
And
can
yes,
create order service as well
yes.
and
Cart
delivery,
management for cart
card
things,
management.
checkout management for
Yeah.
checkout. Yes.
So,
Hmm.
yes. Right.
Yep. Okay. Mm. So just tell me, how do microservices communicate with each other? This is a very
Uh,
important question.
right. So microservices to communicate with REST template.
Mm-hmm.
With using get URL method, we can pass the endpoint of another microservice in
Mm-hmm.
that.
Correct, correct. These are synchronous communication. Do you know about asynchronous communication?
Yeah, Kafka is in
Mm.
asynchronous communication
Yep,
example.
yep. Yes. Okay, okay, got it. And have you heard about web client?
Web client, that is the Chrome you were asking about.
Web client. Actually, this is also a way to communicate the microservices, just like REST template. So I just wanted to know whether you have heard about this or not.
Yeah, heard about it. gRPC also I have heard about web
Mm-hmm.
client gRPC.
Okay, okay, it's fine. Let's say there are two microservices, payment service and order service in your project. Order service is dependent on the payment service, right? And payment service is down. So what will you do?
For that, we can design a saga pattern so that
Mm-hmm.
if any service is down, so at least
Mm.
using the event listener, other microservices will
Mm-hmm.
get notified and work on that. And we can roll the whole transaction.
Okay. Mm. Okay. So moving ahead, uh, do you know the few microservices name that are very important while working on a microservice architecture?
API gateway,
Yes.
aspect oriented programming,
Hmm?
aspect oriented programming,
No,
That means
aspect-oriented programming is it annotation?
so that is like another kind of class we can create for the logging system.
Yes, yes, yes. But that
Yeah,
we can create, I mean, that could be created in a monolithic architecture also, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
In microservices, we can have API gateway. We
Mm.
can have another class for security, like
Circuit breaker.
configuration, circuit breaker, yeah, circuit breaker design pattern we can
Mm.
use. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, so these few manuals, like,
Yes, yes. Okay. Yep, that's correct. Uh, okay. So yes, Aditi, it's done from my end, and yes, it was a very wonderful interview. I think it went more than 35 minutes, I guess. So yes, it was a very wonderful interview. Yes. So okay. And ask Pallavi, she will give you access of that interpretation kit. Okay.
yeah, sure. For that, I will ask.
Yes, yes. So you are having total 4.9 year of experience, right?
Yeah,
Okay, it's fine. Okay then. Let's wind up this call.